California nurses, they work too hard and too long to lose everything over a single DUI arrest. I'm going to explain everything that happens to a registered nurse in California when they're arrested for a DUI and what changes if you're convicted. I'll cover the Board of Registered Nurses reporting requirements, their disciplinary guidelines, and what steps you could take to protect your nursing license. Here's our roadmap for today's video. 1. What happens at arrest? 2. The reporting requirements. 3. How the BRN looks at DUIs. 4. Discipline outcomes. 5. The intervention program. 6. What changes if you are convicted. 7. Practical steps you can take right now. First, let's clear up one of the myths. You do not have to self-report at the arrest of a DUI, but every nurse did a live scan when they got their license. That means the Department of Justice could notify the nursing board upon the arrest. In reality, the board might already know by the time you tell them. But for now, you want to focus on your criminal defense and your HR's policy manual. And you need to know some hospitals require that you report the arrest even if you haven't been convicted. Part 2, what you must report. The BRN requires that you report a conviction, not an arrest. And you have to report it within 30 days of conviction. And you ask what a conviction is? Well, a conviction is of course, a guilty plea, and a conviction is a no contest plea. And it is still a conviction even if you get it expunged under Penal Code 1203.4. Then what do you have to do? You'll have to provide a narrative to the board. And it's going to include a written narrative of the event, all court documents, and the police report. Proof that you complied with the sentencing, and the most important one, any rehab or mitigation that you want the board to consider. What if you don't report within 30 days? That by itself is a different charge as unprofessional conduct under the Business and Profession Code. 3, how does the BRN evaluate DUIs? The board, they're going to look at whether a DUI is substantially related to safe nursing practice. And alcohol-related offenses, well, they usually are. Business and Professional Code 2761 covers unprofessional conduct. 2762 covers alcohol and drug use, as well as any conviction related to alcohol use. Rehabilitation evidence, that's the key, as well as compliance with the court's sentencing. You want to make sure you successfully complete probation, you complete any treatment programs, and you'll provide any character references in support of your position. 4, possible disciplinary actions. The BRN's disciplinary guidelines usually start with a stayed revocation period of 3 years. And that applies to first-time DUI convictions. If you're asking what the word stay means, in legal term, that just means they put a pause on it. They might even put in some strict terms for you to comply with, such as random drug testing, random alcohol testing, abstinence from alcohol, work site monitoring, the cost to monitor your program and your success, and penalties increase if you have a high BAC, if you had an accident, or if there are multiple DUIs on your record. In my opinion, it's all about proper mitigation. What I do for my clients, we send them to our licensed clinical social worker. She writes an evaluation report, and by the time we're done, we show the history of your family and what may have caused your drinking. If there's a connection in your family tree to alcohol use and abuse, our social workers and the doctor, the supervisors, can actually give an opinion that it's a medical condition. 5, the intervention program. The intervention program, it's an alternative to the disciplinary program. It's voluntary, it's confidential, and it's focused on treatment. But it's very rigorous and has random testing, group meetings, work site monitoring. Do you really want them showing up to your work site? I don't think so. And to add insult to injury, they make you pay for the privilege of them monitoring you. But in reality, for some nurses, it's the best path back to sobriety. 6, if you are convicted, the 30-day clock starts running then. And expunging it immediately, if you work out that deal, it's still not going to help you. You still have to report it. You're going to send all the documents that I previously mentioned to the board ASAP. From there, you just wait. Wait for the board to contact you. Wait for them to take action. The board, they might start an investigation. They may file what's known as an accusation seeking probation or a more serious disciplinary action. But remember this, failing to report is going to be more of a consequence than the DUI itself. I actually knew a nurse that I did not represent. She failed to report and she lost her license. Number 8, nurse practitioners. What about them? If you're a nurse practitioner with hospital privileges, you need to know that your privileges may be revoked by the hospital. And that falls under Business and Profession Code 805. Number 8, practical steps. Here's your action plan. If you're arrested, hire a DUI lawyer. Don't even think twice about that one. Start documenting your sobriety. Start doing Alcoholics Anonymous classes, AA online. Start doing a Mothers Against Drunk Driving class. And get a copy of your employer's HR policy. If you are convicted, calendar that 30-day deadline. Very important. Submit the full packet, gather all your evidence, and at least consider the intervention program, whether it works for you or not. Put yourself in the position of the board. Their main concern is patient safety. That's why you're going through all this. The more evidence you show of rehabilitation and sobriety, the better off you're going to be. In closing, you've worked too darn hard to let one event define your nursing career. You need to handle the timing and the reporting correctly and start building your rehabilitation record. If you're in California and you want my free RN reporting guidelines, click the link below in the description. This is Attorney Silva. Hope you've enjoyed this one. Hope it's been helpful. Silva out. Have a great day. Bye.